welcome to Driving Me Crabill. So this is video number 3, and we are going to just kind of have a chat about all the things that we've learned in our first trip. We are done with our first trip, and we're headed back to Dallas where we live. So first of all, as of our third video, we have 52 subscribers, and that's probably really nothing in the YouTube world, but I think it's a really great start. So thank you to everyone who's subscribed, and if you haven't yet subscribed, please hit that subscribe button below. So a couple of things we're going to talk about. First thing, I promised you that you were going to get to help name the RV. We have had several submissions, and we narrowed it down to 5, and we all voted. We do have a winner, and I'm going to share that with you at the end of this video. I have notes of things that I want to talk about today. So the first thing is, huge apology, because we were going to get out already a video about all the things that we had to buy for the RV, and also kind of a video about our actual journey and the first trip itself, the excursions and all that. However, we have learned a major lesson. What is it?
Make sure you got good internet.
Our internet, well, this is kind of your gig, so why don't you explain? You probably have to speak up too.
Yeah, we found out that, I had a little PetBlade router, and I put an AT&T card in there, and that didn't work. I had an AT&T card into the, it came with a Wi-Fi Ranger Sky Pro LTE, so I thought, man, I'll hook that up. That didn't work. So we learned that you gotta have 2 different carriers to make this thing work right, and so when I get back, that'll be the first thing I do is get that upgraded and working right so we can do some YouTube videos on the road.
Yeah, so basically we have a ton of footage that we can't get into our Dropbox so that our multimedia specialist back there, Nicholas, can actually edit the videos. So that's what's happening. We're not ignoring you. We will get those up as soon as possible. Okay, next thing on the list. When you're buying an RV and you go to pick it up, it's really important that you ask if you can spend the night there. If your dealership allows you to spend 1 or 2 nights there, that's perfect. Because you're gonna need the time to be able to check all of your systems, check every single button, every single everything, and make sure that it works. And you really need to spend a night or 2 in it to be able to kind of use everything and know what's not working right. And also, like, little things we found were missing, little scratches that needed to be repaired and stuff like that. Especially if you're buying new, it needs to be pristine. And it's not always going to be pristine. Coming from the manufacturer, they don't always make everything perfect. Like, our table in our dinette was super loose, and it came from the manufacturer that way, and so we actually needed to like add some washers and tighten it up and do some work on it. So anything else to say about that?
Yeah, I just tested everything, and that was one of the, like, they showed us some TVs, like, look, it comes on, and I'm like, all right, it has power, but like, something's going on with our HDMI switcher where it doesn't work. The front TV up above us, and then the outside TV doesn't work, but the bedroom and the main TV work. So stuff like that I wish we would have checked. I just didn't think about it. I'm like, oh, it came on, it worked.
And some of it we still haven't figured out. We got to get it home and like figure some things out. So the next thing is, it took us really several of those 2 nights to figure out all the things at the dealership, and then once we got it home, it took us 2 days to pack everything. And so that leads me to explaining why I'm so glad we didn't rent. Our original plan was to rent an RV, take the first trip, and see if we liked it, and if we liked it, we might then buy an RV. But I want to say, after taking this first trip, I am positive that had we done that, had we rented an RV, we would have picked it up that morning. We would have had to just cram everything in the RV. We wouldn't have known how to use it, how to drive it, all the buttons and everything. We would have hit the road, and we would have been so frustrated that I don't think we would have had a good time. And I'm pretty sure that we would have killed each other in the process. So we all agree that we're really glad that we just took the plunge and bought the RV. So here's what I want to say about that. If you're considering the RV lifestyle, whether full-time or part-time, if you want to go do your research, that's fine, but let me just tell you what you're going to find. Everybody says the same thing. Number one, this is the most not logical decision, the most illogical thing you can spend money on, because God never meant us to drive our house down the road. Things are going to go wrong. Like, even Oscar, our sales guy, said all RVs suck equally and you're going to have problems with all of them. So that's number one, what you're going to find. This is not a logical thing to do. Number two, you're going to love it. You're going to have a blast. You're going to not want to go home. It's so fun. So let me save you all the research and all the hassle. Don't go rent one. If you think you're going to want to do this, and you know in your heart whether or not you're going to want to do this, just go buy it. Just go do it. So that's my vote. Is that your vote?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Do you regret buying this?
Nope.
No. 0%. Have we had issues?
Yep.
Yep. A lot. There's hiccups and all the things. And when you're going to scratch it and you're going to, make mistakes. But that's kind of the next point, that when you're doing this, you have to know there's going to be hiccups. There's going to be delays. Like, you're going to think you're going to be on the road by 7 a.m. That's not going to happen. You have to just be patient and give each other a lot of grace and space. Grace and space is the key to this issue.
And then when you get frustrated with one another or something, what do? Make a glass of water.
Drink a glass of water, baby. And also, just laugh about it. Look, we had a huge milk spill and Dan was a little peeved about it, and I just laughed, and we're like, okay, clean it up. It's in the rug. It's probably gonna stink. Whatever, just laugh it off and move on. Okay, so what about like actual driving? There's a lot of things that Dan has learned while driving. Do you want to speak on any of that?
Yeah, I mean, Oscar was right. We were driving. It's like when you first drive it, you're scared to death. Big behemoth thing, and you just kind of get used to it. I call it the groove. You find your groove with the steering wheel. We have this thing called a magic eye up here that is amazing. It helped me when I first got started because I'm getting too close one side or the other. But now you kind of get your groove and you kind of feel it. It doesn't go off that often. The first thing was going off like crazy, like, hey, get back into the lane. But it was really good for me to have that.
It's constantly beeping at us. Beep, 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 beep.
So it's really good, though. I love it.
But just breathe. Keep breathing.
Yeah, I mean, the worst part is when you're going through, like, construction zone, you got concrete barriers. I don't think I breathed for, like, a good minute as I'm driving through this, scared to death. But you really got plenty of space. You just don't realize it. And then I also learned the hard way about railroads. Now I watch cars go across them. If they don't move, then I kind of know that the railroads aren't...
like you can take it with a little more speed.
Yeah, but if you see the car bounce in front of you, you might want to slow down.
Slow way down. Yeah. So there's that. And co-pilot, trust your pilot. Just trust him. It's going to be okay. I had several moments where even today I had to just close my eyes and tell myself to breathe, because my natural instinct is to do this. And every time I go, what does it do? What does it make you do?
Scares the snot out of me.
That's not helpful. Don't do it, okay? So if you're the person who's going to go, just close your eyes and breathe. It's okay. It's going to be okay. And if it's not okay, it's still going to be okay. All right. So also we noticed as we first left Dallas, there kept being this like major stink, like actual smelly stink, and we were like, what is that? Is it diesel fumes? Is it, what else do we think it was? The engine?
Yeah, I thought so, the engine, but...
We texted Oscar and we were like, what's happening? He's like, maybe you need to get it looked at. But then we found out, we figured it out.
Two things we figured out.
Yeah.
One was our buddy Joe, because he had the same problem with his when he bought his.
Yeah.
It was basically, what do you say, the filter was getting, I don't know, it takes time for the filter to fully work, I guess.
When it's new.
When it's new. So it'll stink for the first 2,000 or 3,000 miles when it goes away, which it really had. And then the second thing was, is we learned when we hit the brakes too hard because someone's driving too fast, but I don't know what that's about. Then you'll get the smell because the brake pads are new. So you get some of that I guess the rubber burning off of it, so you get that
Yeah.
smell a little bit.
So basically, I thought it was the tires, but it wasn't. Basically, it's the brakes. Every time he hits the brakes hard, about 30 seconds later, this nasty, like, brake burn smell wafts up from the back and comes up into the front. It's, like, super stinky. So we've just learned, try not to hit the brakes hard, and that won't happen. But sometimes you have to hit the brakes hard, so it is what it is. Okay. Also, when you're planning a trip, so we planned our first trip was to Angel Fire, New Mexico. We've just finished it. We're on our way home. We typically will plan our vacations with excursions, things back to back every day because we stay in hotels. That's all we've ever known. And you don't want to be in your hotel. Like, who wants to be in their hotel and just hang out in your hotel? Nobody wants to do that. So you're used to, like, planning to be busy from the moment you wake up till the moment you go to bed. Well, that's what I did, and it was a mistake. And here's why. Because being in this rig is super relaxing and super fun. We play cards, we hang out outside when the weather's nice, we have our picnics outside, we can watch TV, the boys play video games, there's just so much to do. So, we did a puzzle. So that being said, we had booked 4 excursions in 3 days. We ended up canceling one of them, and I will go more into that in the video that covers our actual trip to Angel Fire. So stay tuned. And even after canceling one and doing 3 in 3 days, that was still too much because we didn't get a chance to go into Angel Fire or into Taos. Is it Taos? Yeah. To go shopping and like look around and that sort of thing because we were pretty toasty. We were tired. So I don't recommend that. Maybe plan either more days, plan an excursion maybe every other day, and definitely plan time to just chill and relax in the RV and also go into town and just poke around and see what you see. Yeah? Anything to add to that?
Nope, you're spot on.
Okay, so we're also going to do another video about things that we bought. Our Amazon list was crazy. Our front porch was filled with boxes. So that's another video that we're going to do, and I will leave in the description below that video, I'll leave Amazon links to all of the crap that we bought. It was so much. So the other thing to know is that things in the RV don't necessarily work the same way as at home. So our microwave is also a convection oven, and at home you can cook a pizza in what, 20 minutes?
20 minutes, yeah.
And last night we made pizza, and
it took 2 hours.
it took 2 hours. Okay, it actually took like maybe 40 minutes.
It was longer than that.
Was it longer than
Then
that?
I'd say an hour and 20 minutes.
For 2 pizzas?
Oh, for 2 pizzas, an hour and a half easy.
Hour and a half. So, because we can only do one at a time because it's small.
It took
And
longer to heat up than it did to cook it.
it took forever to heat up. And then, but it baked it. It baked it really well. It was really perfectly done. But it just takes a lot longer to bake. And Zach also made cookies. Same thing. It took a lot longer to bake those cookies. So, also the laundry. You'll want to do at least a load of laundry every day because the washer is very small. And I'm going to tell you what, I ended up doing 2 loads on some days, like just a load in the morning and a load at night. Don't start the dryer right before you go to bed though, because it's really loud. And when it's done, it goes meh. And so if you're just starting to fall asleep, it's not going to work.
It also vibrates the whole rig.
Yeah, so one time I got up at like 6 in the morning and we were having our coffee and I was like, oh, I'm just gonna start the laundry. Bad idea, because at 6:30 in the morning, the boys are still sleeping and the entire rig is like this, shaking because the washing machine is spinning, and it woke everybody up and they were not happy with me. So that's not on the recommended list. Wait till like you're getting ready to leave for the day, after breakfast. Start the laundry, and when you come back, throw it in the dryer. You're good to go. Okay, the next thing we learned was about the tires.
So yeah, we're trying to get the air pressure right to leave and everything, and our built-in air pressure wouldn't fill up the tires. So
we were supposed to be out of there at 11 o'clock, and we could have been out of there at 10:30 had this whole tire pressure thing not happened. So, do you want to explain what happened?
So basically, you know, most compressors have like a regulator on it. You can set it. Well, this one, what we found out is once you pump up the airbags, that it won't go above like 100. So trying to put more air in was almost impossible. We got it done, but it took forever. And then what we learned out from being on the forum was that when you go to pump up your airbags, it uses a lot more pressure. So just pump up your tires at the same time and you'll be fine. But
as you're filling the airbags in your rig, go ahead and pump up your tires then, because then you're going to have the pressure that you need. So it took like 4 guys to get our tires to the pressure that we needed so we could leave. We were supposed to check out of the RV park, and I had to call them and be like, we're having problems with our tire pressure, but we are trying to leave. Like, can we get a late checkout? But we ended up getting out of there about 11:30, so it wasn't that bad. Okay, when you're driving, you want to make sure that you stop at a truck stop. Now, I use an app called Gas Buddy, and it allows you to filter and only show you gas stations that have truck stop. And we really love Love's, no pun intended. The gas station Love's is really great for that. So one thing that we encountered, however, is that when you drive in, sometimes you can pull right up to the pump. Sometimes you have to wait for your turn at the pump, which is fine. But when you pull up to the pump and you gas up, a lot of times the person that had been there right before you, they gassed up and then they pull forward and they park there and they go inside. It's usually a truck driver. Now these guys are really hard workers, so we want to have the best etiquette and be as polite as possible to the truck drivers. So they will pull forward, they'll park, and they'll go inside and get lunch, and get a shower. And so the etiquette is, I believe, that you might be stuck in your spot for 10 to 15 minutes waiting for that truck driver in front of you to come back out and move his rig. So if you're a first timer and you stop at a truck stop and you're like, I'm stuck, what am I supposed to do? That's the etiquette. You might have to wait 10 or 15 minutes, and that's okay. Just put on your patient pants, get yourself something to eat, go to the restroom, do whatever, wait, and you'll be fine. All right, also at the gas station.
oh yeah, once you get done filling, don't go in and buy snacks and sodas and
Don't let your kids go in either.
Oh dear Lord.
You'll be there for an hour. Don't do that.
Yep.
And gloves.
Yep, you just pull forward, get out of their way, and then you can go in and get whatever else you need if you need anything.
Our rule now is only one person goes inside. So he gasses up while I wash the front window, and so while he goes inside, the boys, everyone has to stay in. Nobody gets to get out. If they need to get up and walk around, they can walk around inside. Because otherwise, if you let them out, first of all, there's all these truck drivers and stuff. I don't feel safe letting my kids wander about, and they don't need to go inside. And so yeah, if they want Twizzlers or something, then they needed to put that on the grocery list before we left. So there's that. Okay. Also gloves. Wear gloves.
Yeah, because you get diesel on your hands. I get to fill the sucker up with overflowing a little bit. So, and they're always usually covered. So now I just have a pair of gloves that I designated for my fill-up gloves.
Yeah, so you can leave the stinky outside, not inside. All right, so also when you're getting ready to leave your RV park, we discovered that it's a good idea if you can do what you need to do, what you can do the night before. Because the next morning you might think, oh, we can get this thing buttoned up in 30 minutes and get out of here. No, it takes a lot longer than you realize. There's a lot to do, right? What are some things you have to do? What do you do outside?
Well, I make sure everything's put away first of all, all the chairs and stuff, and then, I've got to empty the sewer tank, so empty the gray and the black, fill up the fresh water, then you gotta make sure it's all, then you gotta sanitize, they call it sanitize the black tank, and then you gotta put all the hoses away, pull in the power, pull in the fresh water, disconnect your water regulator,
close the awnings.
Yep, so there's just a lot that gets done. It takes some time to get it done.
You gotta go up on the roof and make sure that your awnings don't have water, because if they do have water, then you just gotta brush it off, because when you pull the slides in, the water can leak down and into your RV. And so it's not a ton, but we did have a little mess to clean up the first time. And then so this morning, Dan got up there and brushed off all the water, and it was fine.
Yep.
What else? On the inside, I have to make sure everything's are cleared off the floor. All the seats are in the right position. The cabinet doors are all closed. All the countertops are cleared off and put away, which means like I have to put our diffuser in the trash can, take out the trash obviously, put the trash can and the coffee maker and everything else like under the sink, and everything has to fit a certain way, and then we have to vacuum, and then make sure all the chairs are right, and then we can pull in the slides, and then we can air up the vehicle, pull up the jacks, and then we can be on our way. So I don't even know if I said all that in the right order. But, oh, and checking the tire pressure. And so that's what got us in trouble last time. So all those things just take a lot of time. So whatever you can do the night before, just do it the night before, and that will make your life so much easier the next morning. Okay. Also, that kind of like is kind of the end of, well, I just wanted to tell you that we're going to buy a GoPro and make it like a dash cam on the front. Because here, I'm going to show you sort of like what, hang on, what this looks like. I just thought this would be kind of fun for you to watch if you want to while we're driving and we're just sort of on about our way. Would it be fun if you could just like watch the road with us sometime when we're driving? So this is what it's going to be like. Nicholas, who is our, what does he call himself? Multimedia specialist. Yeah. He calls it lo-fi. So it's sort of like when you just play elevator music in your house and it's sort of like white noise. I don't know. Lo-fi. Look it up. I don't really know what I'm talking about. All right. Thank you to everyone who's already subscribed. Our goal is what? Subscribers? You said the other day.
First one's 100, then 500, then 1,000. So
we're at 52. Our first goal is to reach 100 subscribers. So please like this video. Subscribe. Yes.
No one ever mentioned this inside of like their newbie, first time out on the road. You gotta have a good playlist.
Oh yeah, a music playlist. Well, we use Pandora for most of it, right?
Yep, that is true.
Yeah. So, but then if you lose internet access, then your Pandora doesn't work. So, yeah, we gotta work that out. Like, subscribe, and share this video if you know someone who might enjoy it. But last but not least, we want to share with you the winner of the name of our new beautiful rig, and it is, you gonna say it?
Dun, 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 dun.
Drum roll, please. The
Crabill.
The Crabill. And so here's the deal. My cousin Angie Gillum, she came up with this name. We got several other name ideas, and we all voted together, and it was a pretty clear winner. So the Crabill is the name of our new rig. So thank you, Angie, for that wonderful name. I love it. And I think that's it. Like, share, subscribe. Thank you so much for joining us on the way. Comment below if you think that you would love to watch the lo-fi videos, and also comment below if you have any ideas, questions, or comments or concerns to share with us. Thanks so much. We love you guys.
See you guys.
Bye.